puso na pa mag, ano, Gwyneth, andito ka ba?
Ng iPhone? Kaya ng iPhone? Tapos mo ka? Bago ng iPhone? Hindi gamit mo ba eh? Oo, pang picture. Tapos ko, ayos ko. Oo. Siyempre, yung gamit ko.
So, good morning everyone. Am I audible po ba? So, ang topic po namin for today is the transshipment problem. Transshipment problem is an extension of the transportation problem in which intermediate nodes, or referred to as transshipment nodes, are added to account for locations such as warehouses. So, ang transshipment problem po is like a more advanced version of transportation problem, which is yung report nung Group 1 nung Monday. Ay, last week pala. In the regular transportation problem, we usually deal po sa yung goods is directly na sinusupply ng origin sa destination. But in real life, hindi po ganun kadali. Kasi minsan yung mga goods is kailangan mo sa mga intermediate locations, which is the warehouses, distribution centers, or ports, para ma-reach yung final destination nila. And yung tinatawag po natin na intermediate locations are called the transshipment nodes. Yung transshipment problem po, it includes the sources, transshipment nodes, and destination. Yung sources po is like yung factories or farms, which are the origins. Yung sa transshipment nodes are yung warehouses, yung intermediate locations, and sa destinations naman is yung store customers or retailers. So ang goal po nito is same pa rin, to minimize the total transportation cost habang yung supply and demand requirements ay nami-met. But now, kailangan natin i-consider yung extra steps because yung mga items is hindi directly na napupunta sa final destination. Next slide po. So, meron pa tayong 3 general types of nodes. Number 1 is the origin nodes, number 2 is transshipment nodes, and 3 is destination nodes. Sa origin nodes, ito po yung starting points where goods or products come from. Example are factories, yung farms or suppliers. they have, sinusupply nila yung mga goods that need to be transported. The number 2 naman is yung transshipment nodes, which are, yun nga, intermediate points where goods are temporarily held, transferred, or rerouted. Example po dito is yung warehouses, ports, or distribution centers. Like pag nag-order tayo, nag-order tayo sa online, na pinupunta muna nila pag nag-ship sa mga distribution centers. Yung transshipment nodes po, they have no supply or demand, pero hinahelp nilang i-connect yung origin and destination nodes. Number 3 naman po is yung destination nodes. Ito naman po yung mga endpoints where yung mga goods ay dinideliver. Examples are yung stores, customers, and yung retailers. Sila po yung may mga demand na kailangang ma-fulfill. Next slide po. So, the objective in transshipment problem to determine how many units should be shipped over each arc in the network so that all destination demands are satisfied with the minimum possible transportation cost. So, ang main goal daw po ng transportation problem is ma-determine yung number of units na isi-ship nila through each route or yung arc in the network para lahat ng destination demands ay ma-met and yung total transportation cost is ma-minimize. In short, kailangang ma-meet yung demand at the lowest cost while using intermediate stops wisely. Next slide po. Problem variation. Transshipment problems may be formulated with several variations including number 1, total supply not equal to total demand. Number 2, maximization objective function. Number 3, route capacities or route minimums. And number 4, unacceptable routes. So number 1 po, total supply not equal to total demand. Minsan, yung amount po kasi na goods na available or yung supply ay hindi nagmamatch dun sa amount na hinihingi ng mga destinations like yung demand nila. So, to balance the model po, gumagamit po sila ng mga dummy supply or demand. Number 2, maximization objective function. Instead po na i-minimize nila yung cost, yung iba po is ini-aim na lang nila na i-maximize yung profit, yung efficiency, or yung delivery speed. Number 3 is yung route capacities or route minimums. Some routes daw po have limits on how much or yung gaano karami yung isi-ship nila. So, nire-reflect po dito na yung truck po and yung mga storage ay may limit po sila. Number 4 is unacceptable routes. Dito naman po, hindi daw po lahat ng routes are available or allowed. Kasi po, yung iba pong mga route is pwedeng block or napaka-expensive or restricted, and kailangan po nila itong i-exclude sa solution nila. Next slide. Capacitated transshipment problem. It refers to the transshipment problem when we add one or more constraints of the form x sub ij less than or equal to L sub ij to show that the route from node I to node J has capacity Lij. Ito naman po is a type of transshipment model that ini-include po nila yung mga route capacity limits. Yun nga po, gumagamit sila ng constraints like x sub ij less than or equal to L sub ij, where yung x sub ij is number of units shift from node I to node J. And yung L sub ij naman po is the maximum capacity or yung limit of the route from I to J. This means po, hindi mo pwedeng isend or you can't send more than Lij units along the route from I to J. Kasi nga po, yung route here, yung mga tracks and yung mga storage ay may limit. Next slide. Next po is yung General Linear Programming Model. To determine how many units should be shipped over each arc in the network so that all destination demands are satisfied with the minimum possible transportation cost. Yung model na po ito is gumagamit ng Math 2 transshipment problem. Ang goal naman po dito is to find out kung gaano karaming units ang isi-ship nila over each arc or each route in the network para yung lahat ng destination demands ay ma-met and the total transportation cost is mababa pa rin as possible. Para to understand and solve transshipment problems using linear programming, we use the following notations. Next slide. Nawala ba yung presentation?
Kita niya ba yung presentation?
Nawala ata. Ba't di ko makita? Ayan. So, to show the general linear programming model for the transshipment problem, we use the following notation. X sub ij is equal to the number of units shipped from node I to node J. C sub ij is equal to the cost per unit of shipping from node I to node J. X sub I naman is equal to supply at origin node I, and D sub j is equal to the demand of destination node J. Sa X sub ij naman po, pinapakita nito yung flow of goods between the nodes. C sub ij naman, nire-represent niya kung how much cost, kung gaano daw po kamahal yung isi-ship nila na product from one unit between two nodes. Sa S sub I naman po, kung gaano karaming units ang available to be shipped from the origin, and yung D sub j naman is how many units are needed at the destination. Like yung S sub I is supply and D sub j is demand. These notations po helps us build equations to like para matrack yung flow ng goods, keep the supply and demand balance, and ma-minimize yung total cost in the network. Next slide po. So, makikita po natin dito yung kung ano yung itsura ng model para sa transshipment problem. Kung dati po sa transportation problem is yung origin node sa node space, dito naman po sa transport problem, meron siyang which is yung sa gitna nila. Yun lang po. Next. Ikaw na ito. Yan.
Hello, rinig niyo ba ako? Hello? So, ang part ko dito ay bigyan kayo ng transshipment example. And andito siya. Ang problem is, wheat is harvested at farms in Nebraska and Colorado before being shipped to 3 grain elevators in Kansas City, Omaha, and Des Moines. Des Moines ba yan? Ano ba yun? Pinakinggan ko yun kanina kung anong pronunciation niya, tapos nalimutan ko. Which are now transshipment points daw. So ito, wait, mamaya ko yun. The amount of wheat harvested at each farm is 300 tons. The wheat is then shipped to the mills in Chicago, St. Louis, and Cincinnati. So, kung mapapansin nyo dito sa picture na ito, ang origin nodes dito ay itong Nebraska and Colorado. And ito yung supply nila, itong 300, and itong 300 ang supply nila. Then, makikita naman natin sa gitna. Ito yung transshipment points, intermediate points, transshipment nodes ang tawag. And then, dito naman ay ang destinations, which includes Chicago, St. Louis, and Cincinnati. Andito yung demand ko yan, nakasulat. Chicago, ang demand niya is 200. St. Louis naman, 100 tons ng wheat. And Cincinnati, 100 tons naman. Ang makikita naman natin yung sa arts na to, yung price ng transportation sa bawat loads na yan from and to. Let's move on. Wait, malipat ako sa Word kasi mas madali itong explain. Paano panggalin ang presentation na dito? Wait. Nakikita nyo ba? So basically, sa transportation problem, wait, nakikita nyo ba yung arrow ko? Okay. Sa transportation problem, diba, diretsong origin lang, papuntang destination. Pero sa transshipment problem, meron tayong bida-bida, itong nasa gitna, ang pahirap ng ating. So, gawa natin siya ng table para mas madali nating maintindihan. Dito yung table. Nagawa ko na siya kanina. So, makikita natin dito, meron dito yung farm, which is the origin. Meron dito naman yung transfer points. So, dalawa yung table natin because meron natin itong origin to intermediate points. Origin to intermediate, ganyan. Colorado to Kansas, Omaha, Des Moines. Meron naman tayo dito sa second table, intermediate nodes naman. Intermediate points papunta sa ating destination port. Tingnan natin yung price per each. Per each origin to intermediate points. Tingnan natin, Nebraska to Kansas City. Sabi dito, $16 daw ang wawaldasan natin. Bag. From Colorado naman to Kansas City, that's 2-3, di ba? Kung sa, natin, sa, ano tawag yung X-sub IJ? X-sub IJ. Mangyayari dyan, X-sub 2-3 na ngayon. X-sub 2-3 is, $15.
Doon kayo na to?
$15 siya.
Yan yung nag-ilog kayo, no? Mga hayop ko.
Ang 2 to 4 naman,
Hindi ba ito
ay,
required sa'yo?
2 to 4. 2 to 4 is,
Alam ko,
ay,
kasabay
1 to 4. 1 to 4 is 10.
May graduation sa mobile.
1 to 4 is 10. 2 to 4 is $14.
Oo. Diba? Sa ano?
1 to 5 naman.
High school.
1 to 5 ay 12. And 2 to 5 naman ay 17. Same goes dito tayo sa intermediate nodes to the destination nodes naman. Kansas City to Chicago is $6. Omaha to Chicago is $7. Nakikita nyo dyan. And Des Moines naman to Chicago ay $4 daw. Continue na lang natin yan kasi time consuming na siya. Tayo dito. So, ang objective natin for today ay to determine how many units should be shipped over each arc in the network so that all destination demands are satisfied with the minimum possible transportation cost. Makita natin kanina, ito yung general linear programming na pinesent ni, di ba? Ni Winnet. Mapansin natin dito, ito yung objective function and ito naman yung constraints. So, sabi dito, minimization problem tayo, diba? So, minimization na nakalagay dyan to minimize the cost na. Since yun yung objective natin, main objective natin, shipment problem. To minimize the cost para hindi mag-cover ang kumpanya. And then, makikita natin dito, lahat lang ng arcs ay similar. As well as the cost of, So, yung mangyayari dyan ay, for example, 16x, dito tayo, 16x sub 1, 3. Pag dito naman, 15x sub 2, 2. Pag dito, 10x sub 1, 4. Dito naman, 14x sub 2, 4. Dito tayo dito. So, kukunin natin ay ang objective function ng ating problem. Ang available, yung mga constraints, at ang constraints natin dyan, itong available supply constraints, demand constraints, transshipment point constraints, and yung non-negative constraint, hindi pwede na. Try natin baba nga ito dito. So, sa objective function, ang itatype lang naman natin dito ay yung mga arcs, diba? Mga notations na ilalagay natin ay yung mga nagre-represent ng lahat ng arcs na nandito. So, type natin yan mano-mano. Kasi hindi ko siya na-type kanina. So, X x sub 1, 3 plus x sub 2, 3 plus x sub 3, 6 x sub 3, 7 x sub 3, 8 x sub 4, 6 4, 7 5, 8 and 5, 6 5, 7 5, 8 mano-mano muna. Ayan, wait lang. Ang dami pala. Kaya tama na yung nailagay natin. For the available constraints naman, makikita natin na 300 lang ang supply, ang maximum supply ng Nebraska, and 200 lang naman for Colorado. So, paano natin yung gagawin? So, dapat, ang isi-ship out ni Nebraska to, to Kansas City, to Omaha, and to Des Moines, ay hindi lalagpas ng 200. Should be equal to or less than 200. So, paano natin yung gagawin? Type natin muna itong node sa ito. Mga notations for these arcs. Tapos, gawin natin siyang less than the available supply of Nebraska. Matatype natin yan as this. X sub 1, 3 plus X sub 1, 4 plus X sub 1, 5 is less than or equal to 300. So this is the supply constraint for Nebraska. Supply constraint naman for Colorado. It's the same din naman dito. So x sub 2, 3 plus x sub 2, 4 plus x sub 2, 5 should be less than or equal to 300. Lagay natin yung list. That's for Colorado. Tingnan naman natin dito sa demand constraint. So, ang demand constraint, tandaan natin dito sa paggawa nito. Lagi dapat siyang equal sa 200. So, ang mapupunta lang lagi to Chicago. Ito. Kung sinabi natin ang Chicago. Mapupunta sa Chicago must be equal to 200. So that would be from, dahil sa mga destinations niya, which includes Kansas City, Omaha, and Des Moines. Lahat ng mga manggagaling dito sa tatlong ito na papunta sa Chicago ay equal dapat ng 200. Sulat natin yan as x sub 36, x sub 46, x sub 56, ganon. So the sum of this tatlong ito should be equal to 200. Same goes with St. Louis and Cincinnati. Sulat natin yan as for St. Louis, that's x sub 37 plus x sub 47 plus x sub 57 is equal to 100. For Cincinnati naman, ang demand daw pala nila ay 300. So, ang mga mapupuntang tons ng wheat ay dapat equal sa 300. So, the sum of lahat ng i-deliver from Kansas City, Omaha, and Des Moines should be equal to 300. So, that's x sub 38, x sub 48, and then x sub 58. So, that's natin yan. So this is the demand constraint for Cincinnati. Kuha naman tayo sa transshipment constraint. Sabi dito sa transshipment constraint, meron daw tayong principle. Lahat ng siniship in ay dapat i-ship out din. Kasi hindi naman talaga siya destination. So, lahat ng pumapasok sa kanya ay dapat lumabas din. Daanan lang siya hindi naman siya tambayan. So, sulat natin dito yung principle. What is shipped in must be shipped out. So, gamitin natin ang principle na to sa paggawa ng constraint na ganito. So, sabi daw dito, lahat ng pumapasok, for example, lahat ng pumapasok sa transshipment point number 3, Kansas City, dapat yun din daw yung lumalabas sa kanya, papunta sa Chicago, papunta sa St. Louis, papunta sa Cincinnati. Ano natin yung maisusulat? So, lahat daw ng pumapasok, sulat muna natin lahat ng pumapasok. So, that's x sub 1, 3, and x sub 2, 3. Should be equal to lahat ng lumalabas, which is x sub 36, x sub 37, and x sub 38. Diba? So, mangyayari dito, magiging equal sila. Pwede din natin siyang gawin in another format by doing this. Minus, gawin natin yung equal sign, gawin natin minus. Ilagyan natin dito na dito. Same results lang naman, mas malinis lang tingnan, and mas gusto ng replay. So, bahala sila. So, this is the transshipment point constraint for Kansas City. Gagawin pa natin yung sa Omaha and sa Des Moines. Sa Omaha, ang pumapasok naman sa kanya ay Nebraska and Colorado. So that's x sub 1, 4 and plus x sub 2, 4. Sub 1, 4. Should be equal to x sub 46, x sub 47, and x sub 48. Sabi natin ang baguhin by changing this. Move natin itong side na to. Alright. Then, nalagay natin dito ay 0. Ito din si Des Moines. Papasok sa kanya ay Nebraska and Colorado. So, that's x sub 1, 5 and x sub 2, 5. That should be equal to sa mga lumalabas ng Des Moines, which is x sub 5, 6, 5, 7, and 5, 8. Gawin na naman natin yan. Gawin natin pong minus. Tapos, i-equal ito sa C. Nagigets nyo ba kung bakit ganito yung nangyari sa transshipment point and space? May tanong ba kayo? Gusto nyo bang i-clarify?
Galing ni boss. Ganito, ganyan.
Wala ba? Sige.
Positive.
Siyempre sa non-negativity constraint, ilalagay lang natin yung notation na x sub ij.
Matapos.
Ang allowance ba no?
Kung alam ko, 11
Yung the I referring to the
11,
origin,
14 na.
and yung j ay nag-refer dun sa destination. So that should be greater than or equal to 0. Ito na ang negativity constraint. So after all that, kung pagsasama-samahin natin lahat ito, yung magiging feature rin. Itong objective function rating minimization, yan natin dito min. Subject to
nagsama sila. Ang awkward niyan.
so ito na yung magiging linear programming problem natin na ipagpapatuloy natin by solving this sa Excel na represent naman sa note ni Hyacinth. Thank you so much.
Ha?
Asan picture nyo dyan nila?
Daluntak mo.
Excel pa.
So, good morning po. So, basically, papakita ko lang yung kung paano isolve sa Excel yung pinakita ni Bian kanila. So, as you can see, yung first and second table niya is andito, diba? So, ang hinahanap natin is ito. And then, ito. And yung objective function is mahanap nga yung total cost. Tapos, so, ayan na. So, ito yung given for like yung initial na i-insert na data to solve. Then, punta na tayo sa solver. So, itong data na ilalagay here is itong C20. So, C20 kasi nga, ito yung hinahanap natin. Yung cost. Tapos, minimization kasi nga, hinahanap nga natin is yung, basta yung problem natin is about sa minimization. And then, changing variables sa is ito nga.
Ha?
Elementary? Cell B3 to cell B4 as well as cell B9 to
Wala yan.
B11. Kasi lang sila. Natin pala. Tapos, yung constraints.
At least may work immersion ka daw.
Ito, since 0 pa yung value nito, basta ito yung constraint niya. Equals, kasi nga, sabi kanina, di ba, less than or equal to supply yung 300. Ito. Then add. Then, another one is itong yan, basta. So, D13 to D13. And then equals ulit. Equal to. Dito. Ito naman sa demand. And then add. And then yung kaninang sinasabi ni Bia na yung may rule na must be shipped in. Ay, yung kung ano yung shinip, must be shipped out. So,
Ayan na naman siya.
siya. Tapos, is equal to 0. Type na lang natin manually. Then, okay. Then, yan na. So, yeah. So, ayun lang po. Yung cost na nahanap natin is 11,500. Thank you.
That concludes our presentation po. Ang quiz po namin ay ibibigay po namin maya-maya. Finish lang po namin yung final flare. Thank you so much po for listening.
Sarap mag-ilog. Wala akong iba.